Hello. Today we're doing a pick a card. So just take a minute and look at the piles that are right here. We've got pile one, pile two, pile three. Take a second. Which one is calling you? Which one is pulling you towards it? Just which one resonates with you? Make your choice. I'll give you just a few more seconds. If you need to pause for longer, then by all means do that. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to start reading the first pile. So this card says, I will trust what is in my future. I will forget and learn from my past, and I will live in the now and focus on my present. All right, so we are calling in mindfulness right away, and we are talking about how we should live in the present, live in our now moment. I wouldn't be surprised if this talks about working through anxieties. Let's see. Let's pull some tarot. Let's see what we have. Yep, I surely did bump that. I didn't mean to do it. Eek. Ouch. Oop. Okay, you can't see that. Let's see if we can move this over a little bit. I bumped it again. Sorry about that. I feel like I just need to get a better setup altogether. Like I just need a better way to do it. We'll get there. Okay. So the story that's told here, okay, is one where you had to make the difficult decision to walk away from a situation where you couldn't fully be yourself, especially emotionally. You would have to channel the emotions that would appease your partner the most, as opposed to being able to express what you truly felt. And you were basically in a relationship where you were more where you more often had to fight than love, like fight for yourself. And it's the oddest thing. It's like fight for yourself, but in a minimalistic way, where you were fighting for yourself, but you weren't fighting, if that makes sense. It's a hard thing to explain. I don't know. That's how it feels. It feels like you were fighting for yourself, and it feels like a fight for your life, but it doesn't feel like a fight, an overt fight. It doesn't feel like throwing punches. It doesn't feel like, it feels very strategic and very, I don't know. If you understand, then you know exactly what I'm saying. Like, if this is for you, then you understand what I'm saying. So you either struggled to walk away because it's like, you know how when you're in a situation for a long time, and the longer you're in the situation, the harder it is to leave, because you've invested so much of your energy, of your time, of yourself. And so it's a lot to walk away from something the longer you've invested in it. So there was a struggle here. Um, there either was or is a struggle here. I feel like the collective is in different stages here. I just knocked my microphone with my hand. Sorry about that. Um, some of you are still struggling with the decision, and because it's such a difficult thing to let go of, like I can feel the struggle. Some of you have left and you're healing through it. So, um, you're sort of reversing these two energies, or you're trying to reverse these two energies, where you are relaxing where you used to overcompensate, and you are trying to bring balance where you used to have a lack of, if that makes sense. So I feel like there's sort of a reverse of these two. That's what we're healing through. And your messages keep going. Your message is that you're doing the right thing. You're doing the good work. It's time now to focus on you. Focus on you. Focus on where you are now. And to heal from the past, which includes forgiveness. And I have a whole thing on forgiveness. So, and I was brought back to that immediately. So I feel the need to explain, because it's such a nuanced definition, because we all believe forgiveness indicates somehow that we condone the behavior, or we pardon the behavior, or we absolve the person of the behavior, and none of that is true. Forgiveness is quite simply, by definition, you releasing the anger and resentment you have towards whoever wronged you, or whatever the situation was. It has nothing to do with absolution. It has nothing to do with agreement. It has nothing to do with allowance. It has nothing to do with sweeping it under the rug. You can still forgive and hold accountable. You do not have to continue a relationship. You do not have to seek to subject yourself to any more of the same behavior. None of that. None of that is true. It is simply letting go of the anger and resentment that you hold inside. And that's for you. That's not for them. They don't care. They could care less. This is an act. Forgiveness is an act we do for ourselves. Because that resentment and that anger and that all of that it's just lower energetic vibrations. And I'm not saying don't feel it. We have to feel the emotions that we get, but feel through it, heal through it, and then let it go. It's very freeing. So that's what we're working on. We're working on healing, forgiving, and learning from our past. So through our healing, we will not only be able to forgive this person in this situation, we will learn from it. We will see red flags. We will see behaviors. We will be able to discern more sharply for ourselves going forward. Um, and trust that everything's going to be okay. Move away from the lack mindset and look at what you do have and be grateful for every accomplishment you make. Celebrate that within yourself. Let's see what else we have. This is extra. It's the moon. It popped out. And unless all the cards pop out, then pop outs are extra. I know that's a weird rule I have. Let's see. I did see one flip over in here. Did I? Did I not? Okay. Oh no. Yeah, I feel like we're definitely calling in our divine feminine here. I feel like we are I feel like the moon actually feels very hermity here. It's about the connecting to the divine feminine and connecting to your intuition and doing the work internally that you need to keep going. I feel like this is sort of a warning not to go backwards. And I feel like if we listened, I feel like we could potentially talk ourselves into that. And so that's part of the struggle too then. So we know that we need to leave. We know it's in our best interest, but we try to logic ourselves into why we can't. Or once we do leave, we logic ourselves into why we need to go back. But we need to not do that. All right. All right, the Knight of Cups comes in upside down. So Prince Charming is not... I know the Fool doesn't mean this, but I literally feel like you need to understand that you know the truth. And like this feels very, very narcissistic tactic cycles type thing to me, and it feels like we've got the love bombing that happens. Like this is what I'm getting. Hold your boundaries. Okay, listen, I'm telling you, if you read tarot, you're going to be like, that's not what those cards means. But I do read intuitively. And this is what I'm getting, okay? I'm getting that the offering of love is not genuine. So feels very love bomby, feels very hoovering. Basically, don't allow that to give him space or her space to weasel their way back in. Hold your boundaries. And this makes me feel like this is how you should sort of interact with them when they're doing that. And that is what's it called? The gray rock method. Whatever that is. I feel like you should just basically ignore them, but not in an obvious way. It's sort of like minimal interaction. It's sort of like I don't know. It's like sort of given the feeling of malicious compliance, but it's not in the same spirit. It's more of a self-preservation. It's very hard to explain. Again, I feel like if this reading is for you, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll know. Okay. Anything else for this reading? They just want you to know that this is the right thing. And your best default in this situation while you're healing through this and you're moving forward is to bring yourself to the now as often as possible. Don't think about the future. With worry or anxiety. I feel like you're encouraged to think about the future with potential and wonder and excitement. But if you start leaning into anxiety or any fear or worry, then recall yourself back to the now moment. I feel like you're being encouraged to limit your thoughts of the past to when you're healing. Specifically, work through those, and then again, call yourself back to the now moment. The now moment is where you want to be most of the time, because I feel like you're learning to know and love yourself again, and I feel like that's the most important thing right now. Let's see. See if we can get a couple more messages. Take some action. Okay, so for those of you that are thinking, do I leave or do I not leave, or you're struggling, take some action, okay? And Lotus. So this is part of your spiritual growth. This is your catapult into your healing journey. This is your dark night of the soul. This is your awakening. And this is going to start the whole healing journey, spiritual growth journey. Okay? So, there you have it. That's your message for pile number 1. I wasn't really expecting that. Lots of love and light to you. Okay, so for those of you that picked pile number 2, our card is... Oh, wow. This is actually literally could go with pile 1. This card is all about releasing your grief. This card is about feeling what you feel, sort of allowing that to be there, be present in the feeling, and then let it go. This is very ebb and flow. This is very ride the emotions while you're feeling them. Okay, let's see what else we have, because it's already very similar to pile 1. Not the same, but similar. All right, let's see what the story is with this. What's the story with pile 2? All right. Go. Just moving this over again. I think I bumped this accidentally when I was removing the last reading. All right, that's the Death card. My favorite thing about this card is the Ghost Rider horse. Look at his eyes. Bring that closer. That's my favorite thing about this card. All right. Let me see. Okay. I just want to first point out that this is mostly major arcana. Like major. Okay. And 3 out of the 4 cards speak to endings. Half of the cards speak to beginnings. This one is all about healing and what does your soul need. So this card is, in essence, the heart of the martyr. Like, you give until, not even until, you give even when it's in detriment to yourself. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're working through, this energy is so similar to reading 1. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're working through, there's literally nothing for you here. There's only lessons. And you will either learn the lesson and move into the healing on your own, or tower moments will come along and force you to learn the lesson and move into healing on your own. Okay? That's the way it works. Just to be clear, when we have lessons, major lessons in our lives like this is a major lesson. 3 majors here. Okay? When we have major lessons in our life like this, we will repeat them until we learn them. So just keep that in mind. This is about you figuring out what it is you need to heal. This is about you going, first of all, after you let go of this and what is no longer serving you, and whatever you are giving too much of yourself to, whatever you are basically sacrificing yourself for, once you remove yourself from that, it's going to be time for you to do that healing and do some internal reflecting and figure out what it is you need, what it is you want, what it is your soul needs, and to give yourself that. This is the Death card. This is ending and new beginning. This is where you stop being the person who gives until you are completely and totally depleted, and you start being the person who takes care of you. You take care of yourself instead of taking care of others until you are burnt out, no longer able to. Where's the... Here they are. All right, let's see what else we have to say. Like, I'm exhausted right now. I am exhausted. Okay. So, if you can't see a way out, that's okay. But you have to know that there is a way out, and that you are, in essence, this is true at some point for all of us when we don't make the decision to remove ourselves from what it is that is hurting us. Because, and I feel like in this case, a lot of this is mindset for you. This is like conditioning. This is like believing that this is the right thing to do. It's not. It's not the right thing to do. Giving yourself away for the sake of others is not the right thing to do. Okay? So I do feel like it is sort of that mindset that's got you trapped in this sort of place that you're in, this space that you're in. If you don't see a way out, I feel like it's just a matter of switching your mindset, learning to fight for yourself, instead of just laying down and saying, okay, fine, if you don't want to, it's okay. It's super important for you to understand that it's okay to do what you want or what you think it's best. It's not always about what other people want or what other people need from you. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't be that over what you need for yourself. Yeah, I feel like it's time to invest in yourself. It's time to give to yourself. It's time to make sure you have everything you need to stand in your own power, to take care of yourself, and then find balance so that you don't give too much. So that you can, because you're a giver. Totally get that? You're a giver. And it's a beautiful thing. It's just a matter of you giving to yourself first and not giving to others to your own detriment. This needs to end. Like you're burning out. You're totally burning out. And the only way to fix that is to know when you're carrying too much and lay down what is not your burden. Take care of yourself first. I'm not saying don't help others. I'm saying don't do it to your own depletion. Don't do it until you are I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Don't do it until you're spent. Don't do it until you're debilitated. Don't do it until you can't move anymore. Until you're feeling all of the... That's not how we help people. That's not how you're meant to help people. And you won't be able to help anybody else if you push yourself to that point. So think of it like that. It's not fair to the other people that you run across and can lend some help to give so much of yourself to the one or two people that are potentially even purposefully taking advantage of you right now. And even if it's not intentional, it's still being done. It could be chalked up to human nature and not intention. It's irrelevant, really. The only person that can stop it is you. If that makes sense. So, if you don't know, how, if you don't know what you want, if you don't really know who you are, and you're just kind of in this place where you feel like this is something you need to do, then get to know yourself. If you feel like you don't have any answers, if you don't know how to change the way that you're self-sacrificing, if you don't know how to move in any other direction, let your intuition guide you. If you don't know when to say no, if you're having trouble with that, let your intuition guide you. It's going to take practice. You're definitely not going to wake up tomorrow and say no every time you need to say no, but baby steps are better than no steps. So make sure you're giving yourself grace. Make sure you're giving yourself compassion, and room to grow. And know that practice makes perfect. Know that you'll get there. And when you're struggling with the decision whether to help somebody or not, because you're aware of this now, right? You're aware of this. You're aware of your tendency to self-sacrifice. And when you're struggling with, okay, am I doing that? When you're struggling with that, don't overthink it. Shut the mind off and just feel. Just intuitively connect and discern that way. And let it go. A lot of this is conditioned, which means that that's something you need to do shadow work or some inner work on. Could be inner child. But it's an old belief system. It's an old thought process. And it's something that you need to work on, to let go of. And when you are able to let go of the conditioning, the experience that brought you to the place where you feel like you need to martyr, where you feel like you need to give too much, when you can heal that, then it will be a whole new you. and you'll be so much happier, and you won't be so burnt out, and you won't be so weary, and you won't struggle so much, because it's not that you don't want to help people. It's that you help so much you get yourself to a place where you're frustrated because you don't have any more in you, but your belief system drives you to continue to give. So we need to work on that. So that's it. Make sure you're working on doing the inner work you need to do. That could be shadow work. That could be inner child healing. That could be past life work. It can be any number of things. Do some research on that. What kind of work you might need to do to help you work through this conditioning. But we definitely need to get ourselves out of the belief system that causes us to overgive and allows us to practice self-care without any shame or guilt, and allows us to love ourselves and take care of ourselves without any shame or guilt, and allows us to do that before we give to others without any shame or guilt. So that's your message. I hope that made sense, and I hope that helped. Lots of love and light to you. Okay, so for those of you who picked the third pile, this is where we are. Y'all, I cut a little pinch out because I knocked. I'm so clumsy. It's not even funny. I'm so sorry. But I knocked things over, and one of those things was the camera. So I did cut out, I kept recording, but I edited that part out. Or I'm editing that part out. And I'm starting from here. I'm going to laugh a little bit because it was so funny. Okay. Sorry. So sorry about that. Anyway, pile 3. We have null emptiness. So this is where we're being called with this card to sort of get still, to sort of disconnect from all of the earthly emotions, to disconnect from... This card feels very shaman to me. It feels very move out of this dream and into reality. Move out of this non-reality into the next reality, and sort of be a connector, a bridge, a conduit for things from the spiritual plane to the physical plane. That's what this card screams to me. Okay. Let's see what the cards say. Let's see what the cards say. That's Hermit card. That tracks. I'm just saying, that tracks. All right, let's see what else comes out. Okay, well, that's interesting. Let's see what else we get. Interesting. Did we do it? We can't even fit another one. But I want this one. Okay, let's put them. How do we do this? I want him in here too. Well, Spirit wants him in here too. Alright, just to show you guys, there's also another knight, the Pentacles knight down here. We'll try to do it like that. I'm going to knock it again. I feel it coming. Okay. Okay. Let me... Let's see. Okay. So what this says to me is you are not a person that cannot seek wisdom. So if you are in a space where you are giving energy to fruitless or insignificant or irrelevant endeavors, then this is the time for you to withdraw from those and to be that person who seeks wisdom, be that person who can sit in stillness. I feel like this is just a call to really, really invest heavily in your spiritual growth, and seek that wisdom, seek that truth. I feel like when you can get into that energy successfully, when you can master being in this hermit energy, this knowledge, this wisdom seeker energy, when you can master being there, then the abundance, honestly, I'm hearing everything falls into place. So, and I feel like that's just reinforced by the star card here. Abundance is coming, love is coming. I feel like the only thing that may potentially be a challenge for you is divine timing. But I feel like as long as you're in this energy, and as long as you maintain this energy, you'll be able to focus on your now moment. And so you won't even really be thinking too much about the blessings coming to you, except for maybe the desire that you might have for them. But both of those situations are just challenges for you to refocus, I feel like, on seeking wisdom, seeking knowledge. And I feel like that's just the energy you're meant to be in. You're meant to be in the energy that is it's ethereal. It's everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. It's everything and nothing all at the same time. It's sort of this place where you're holding space for the transference of knowledge, for the movement of energy. This is given very powerful, mystical, I'm sitting with it, y'all. This is pretty, like, it's very, the energy's so calming, and it's so sure of itself. Like, it's not worried. It's just a very calm, very confident, very knowing energy. And I feel like it's that of a powerful mystic, a powerful leader, a powerful guide. And I feel like this is one of those not meant for everybody types of things. This is one of those, some people can live without this. Some people can go their whole lives without the pursuit of true knowledge and wisdom. You are not one of those people. Ten of Cups. Nine of Cups, sorry. So in the Nine of Cups, this is your wish card. This is you're getting everything you wish for. But there is the caveat with this card that you have to be in the energy of what you're calling in. I feel like this is less about you being in the energy of calling in what you want and more about you understanding those concepts, knowing that type of information. Does that make sense? You are going to definitely going to I don't know, I feel like you're calling something new in. You're giving new life to something. Let's see, what else do we have? You're giving new life to something. Expansion. This is coming out upside down. So when Spirit says, I said what I said. Are we done with these? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're a part of something. You're a part of something that is deep, that is spiritual. Again, it's ethereal, and it's about teaching. It's about guiding. It's about wisdom. It's about understanding. And it's about expanding that knowledge. I feel like this part is telling us that obstacles can be obstacles, or they can be easily overcome. And that depends on how well you can embody this ascended master type energy, this powerful mystic energy. This is not an easy thing to do, guys. This is not an easy energy to get into. And this is not hermit crawl in a hole and self-reflect energy. This is hermit has already done that and has climbed to the top of the mountain and is wise, mystical, spiritual, amazing guide energy. That's what this is. So mastery of this energy will keep this card, will keep this energy in its place, which is having no impact on you. This is beautiful. This energy is so beautiful. So this is about you allowing yourself. This is a lonely road. I feel the need to tell you. I'm not sure that that's going to bother you, to be honest. I don't feel like that's a problem. But this is a very lonely road. And um, so this is not a place where people who um, desire a lot of things, this is not a place where people who um, focus on financial abundance, focus on money. This is not a place for them. This is not a place where for people who just want the right one to come along. This is not a place for them. This is a place for somebody who can forego all of that and sit in stillness, sit in emptiness, and allow themselves to be the truth seeker and the wisdom seeker and the knowledge giver and the guide for others. This is very much it's not going to be easy, and it's not meant for everybody. Yes, all things will fall in place for you. However, it's going to be because you're not thinking about it. It's going to be because you are focusing on that truth. You're focusing on that wisdom. You're focusing on being still, on being empty, on calling down that knowledge. All right, let's see what we get from the brown cards. Gratitude, that's the word of the day. Affirmations. And I feel like that's literally coming out. See, it's not always easy. Like, this is about understanding that it's not an easy road, but it's necessary. And remember, we talked about this being a bridge, a conduit. So this is where you're at. This is the path. This is what it's meant to be. This is given, again, very shaman vibes. I don't know if I said that in the beginning, but this is giving those vibes very much. The healer disconnects from material things, and a completely different perspective on the way you see the world than most people. And I don't mean just a different thought about the same old thing. I mean extreme differences. Shaman level. I don't know how to explain it. If you do any research on shamans, you'll understand what I mean. Like, it's a very, very different perspective, a very different belief system. But this is yours if that resonates with you. I'm hearing, fear not the loneliness. I honestly don't think that would be a problem for you, but I am hearing, fear not the loneliness. Okay. That's it. That's what I have. That's what I have for you. I feel like that was a quicker message. It's such a beautiful energy. I don't want to end the video. I just want to sit in this energy. It's so beautiful. Okay, I'm ending the video. Thank you. Lots of love and light to you. This was for card number 3.